Massive job layoffs in the construction industry. Let's have a look. Good evening, everyone. I'm Florian.Heise, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I have my evening stein of coffee, and my voice has returned enough that I thought it'd be worth going through this article with you all because, well, it's to do with the construction industry and the potential for major job losses in construction and manufacturing. Now, if for those of you that aren't aware, I'm an architect. I'm working in the construction industry, so it interests me a lot following this. We are currently working with a builder who's doing large education projects, and we've done a design over the Christmas period. It was well received, and now we're working in documentation. And it's interesting to see the methodologies that builder has put in place to allow them to minimize these risks. Different teams, cleanliness procedures, all the office and admin staff are working from home, working remotely. So they seem like they're on the ball. So I can see how they can keep producing it. But they're doing government work. They're doing education sector work. So you can see why the push for stimulus, the push for activity, why they'd keep going. But I can't imagine that's for every other type of builder. You can't see developers doing the same thing. Or what about retail or commercial? Can you see that? Particularly with so many shops shutting down, consumer confidence shot, the country in lockdown. The last building approvals we looked at, you can see the dwelling unit approvals, the seasonally adjusted figures, that drop was significant. From over 15,000 to about 13 approvals per month. So, there you go, guys. So let's have a look at this article written by James Hall. Construction and manufacturing sectors predicted to be the next industries to suffer mass job losses. Well, let us know in the comments, guys. I know we've got a lot of people in the trades, a lot of people in construction watching the channel. Share what's going on. Have you already started noticing it? It depends. It's a mixed bag. I'm talking to a lot of people. I was on the phone to a certifier today, and I asked him, "How are you going with the end of the world, mate?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah, no, we're good. We're working from home. We're getting on." And I told him, I said, two things I think will come of this. Number one, people will realize they don't need all their commercial offices. They'll say, "Oh, bugger, I can save money." Number two, we'll have a baby boom. Everyone's going to be stuck at home with their wives. So he laughed at that. Maybe I'm being too optimistic. There'd be a good thing to come out of this. Anyway, let's have a look at this. Leading economists have revealed which industries are most vulnerable to horrendous widespread staff cuts as the economy grinds to a halt. Well, construction hasn't even been doing that well. I would say certain parts of it. I'd say the multi-res construction sector has been in recession. Just look at the approval numbers, how they've been decreasing for months. Look at the PMIs in that sector. They've been going down for months. Millions of Australians are expected to be plunged into unemployment as the illness pandemic grinds the nation's economy to a halt. The closing of borders has effectively granted flights and forced Qantas, Virgin Australia and Flight Centre to stand down thousands of staff, while strict social distancing measures have shut down pubs, clubs, gyms and restaurants. The image of long queues snaking outside Centrelink sites were reminiscent of the Great Depression, but the job losses are expected to accelerate, with prominent economists forecasting construction and manufacturing industries will be the next to feel the squeeze. Now here's the thing. Do you think builders and tradies... Well, it's a mixed bag. Builders and tradies are used to intermittent payment. Not getting paid on time. Sadly, that's a skill you get used to in this game. People not paying you on time, people paying you late. Having to cover costs. The problem is if you're finished off between, halfway through a job, where you've taken a whole lot of costs on, but you still haven't managed to get any money for it. That's the scary thing. If it's the end of a job, hopefully they'll have enough meat in the bank to keep going a bit longer. But we know what's going to happen. It'll be halfway between a job where it's just pins pulled. There are already rumours of mass job cuts within these sectors as building projects are put on hold or cancelled altogether. Sharp declines are also expected in the property market, with AMP Capital chief economist Shane Oliver says we'll slow to a crawl. I think I shared a tweet, or I laughed at a tweet. The Australian Financial Review was talking about how property's still going to be fine, or one of the spruikers. Yeah, I mean, come on. With auctions halted, the longer the downturn goes on, may mean a further reduction in construction activity, particularly in relation to housing, he told news.com.au. Well, yeah, housing hasn't been doing too well. Had a tiny pickup to 8,500, but not back. Look what it was in 2018, nearly 10. You got to look at that in perspective, guys. So, projects will be put on hold, but some staff will be salaried employees, and they will be stood down and have to take leave. But casuals and contractors are the most vulnerable. Leading independent economist Sal Easlake says the recent announcements from large and public listed companies of mass job cuts is concerning. But he expects the unemployment data to reflect an even more depressing jobless rate because of the thousands of small companies shutting up shop which don't get the same attention. Exactly. We're going to see that more and more. The thing is, sometimes these big companies, we've been talking to people at QIS where they can afford to just pay their casuals because it's a drop in the ocean for them. The smaller companies, it's not possible. Let's say 1,000 small businesses each lay off 1 or 2 people. They can't possibly make news until the unemployment figures come out, he said. And I think it's going to be a bit more than 1,000. I suspect that quietly across a range of businesses, you'll see jobs being lost. Well, we're seeing that just out the front of the Centrelink offices. Smaller independent businesses fall into this category, with many operators running on a team with a handful of staff. We haven't seen too much yet about job losses in manufacturing or construction because the focus has been on areas such as retail, hotels and transport, Mr. Eslake said. But manufacturing and construction are jobs that you can't do from home, almost by definition. Depending on how the ABS categorizes the sudden unemployment, Mr. Eslake says about 1.2 million will lose their jobs in the coming months, which will mean the jobless rate could rise to almost 14% from its current level of just over 5%. The data won't reveal the true cost of the losses, however, until the May figures are released in June. Dr. Oliver said the job loss crisis caused heightened anxiety because of the widespread nature of the cuts. Those who are made redundant have nowhere to go. It's just horrendous, he said. Normally when people are laid off, there's other parts of the economy which are holding up, and some of those people are able to move on to other areas. That's what has happened over the last decade. We've seen downsizing of the banks, downsizing in telco, downsizing in manufacturing and the automobile industry, but there are always other parts of the economy which ease the burden. Whereas in this case, you're not seeing that. It's a very different situation to what you normally see in a recession, let alone a depression. There are industries that are either booming or operating as normal in these unique circumstances. The telco sector has shown signs of gaining business from the masses of Australians forced to work from home. While opportunities are rising for healthcare, the public sector is busy, and the production and delivery of food will be more important than ever. There are also likely going to be plenty of work for drivers, particularly in the parcel delivery space and home delivery services. So how will the stimulus work? As the number of confirmed Australian virus cases continues to rise, the government has added a new raft of stimulus measures to the first $17.6 billion package announced 10 days ago, taking the country's total stimulus to $189 billion or 9.7% of GDP. And, that's in addition to the $1.1 trillion of debt the government actually has. It's never mentioned in any of these articles, because I guess people don't care about it. They don't realise we're all going to pay this back. Here's what you need to know. Summary of the package. Okay, you get a $5.50 per fortnight payment for recipients of the Job Seeker Youth Allowance parenting payment, farm household allowance and special benefits for the next 6 months. Early access to superannuation for struggling Aussies, temporary reduction of minimum super drawdown rates, extra $750 for some households, including those on Social Security, and veteran income support and eligible concession card holders, reduction of the deeming rate by a further 0.25%, small and medium businesses with turnover under 50 million, along with not-for-profit charities, will be eligible for a tax-free cash payment of up to $100,000, support for airlines, temporary relief for financially distressed businesses, the SME Guarantee Scheme, government to guarantee half a bank's loan to a small or medium enterprise impacted. I mean, doesn't that scare anyone? Seriously? Isn't that ripe for abuse? Am I the only one worrying about that? Under its plan, the government is temporarily expanding eligibility to income support payments and establishing a new time limit supplement to be paid at a rate of $5.50 per fortnight. That payment will go to existing and new recipients of JobSeek, Youth Allowance, Parenting Payment, Farm Household, and special benefits for the next 6 months. Eligible income support recipients will receive the full amount of the $5.50. Services Australia will expand to 5,000 staff. And Social Security and Veteran Income Support recipients and eligible concession card holders will also receive an extra $750 payment on top of the $750 payment. But will this work? Where can people spend the money? Where's it going to go? Is it just going to go to keep the mortgage going? Even though interest rates have gone down, we missed that on the last one. Our cash rate, I mean, where's it got to go? It's got to go negative. The new payment will be automatically from July 15, with about 5 million Aussies benefiting, including pensioners. The original payment will also occur automatically from March 31st. The government is also reducing Social Security deeming rates. I've already gone through that. You can get the superannuation, and businesses have access to it. And I've gone through this in previous episodes. Here's one that I really am concerned about. This is one that really gets me angry. The government is going to temporarily increase the threshold at which creditors can issue a statutory demand on a company, and the time companies have to respond to statutory demands they receive. So, say you work for someone, it's going to be a higher rate that if they don't pay you, you can demand it. You can make a demand under the Corporations Act, and if they don't fulfill it, then you can go on for wind up their company, and they have action against them. The package also includes a temporary relief for directors from any person liability for trading while insolvent. So why do we even have the bloody Corporations Act? Can you tell me that? That is what really worries me. Now you can't trust any business. Not that you could before, but now the means to address it legally has been removed. You can't go on personally. If these directors are breaking the law by trading insolvent, nothing you can do. Anyway, guys, I don't think this is going to help at all with the employment and unemployment conditions in construction and manufacturing. This just tells me they are getting desperate. They're getting really desperate and doing whatever they can to prop it all up. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. If you're a fan of the channel, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join the channel here on YouTube or on Patreon for a small monthly donation. You can use our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay for your consumer purchases. We also have referral links at Independent Reserve and Kucoin for the crypto traders, merch from the HeiseSays website and Teespring, and PayPal if you want to donate that way. We also can receive gold from Gold Pass. Just use my email address that you can find in the About section of YouTube. Receive my first donation like that. Very cool. Thanks, guys. Take care, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.